Welcome to a special edition of Biz Asia America. I'm Mike Walter. We begin once again with a crisis in Syria. U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry says the United States has, quote, high confidence that the Syrian government used chemical weapons on civilians near Damascus last week. Laying out intelligence on the alleged attack, Kerry says the U.S. has evidence that implicates high-level Syrian officers in the attack. America's top diplomat also vowed that the U.S. would act. Nathan King joins us now with the very latest. Nathan.
Thanks, Mike. We know, said Kerry over and over again as he presented the U.S. evidence. He said that Syrian forces prepared the alleged attack for 3 days, adding that Syrian troops took precautions to protect its own troops, like putting on gas masks. He also said the U.S. have communications evidence of Syrian officers talking about the attack.
We know that these were specific instructions. We know where the rockets were launched from and at what time. We know where they landed and when. We know rockets came only from regime-controlled areas and went only to opposition-controlled or contested neighborhoods. And we know, as does the world, that just 90 minutes later, all hell broke loose.
To back up its evidence, the White House issued this map detailing the areas near Damascus where the alleged attack occurred. The U.S. now says that 1,429 people died in the chemical attack. Among the dead, at least 426 children. However, the White House says it doesn't yet have lab results from the victims, like tissue samples, for instance. But America's most senior diplomat says the evidence is enough and the U.S. must act.
This crime against conscience, this crime against humanity, this crime against the most fundamental principles of international community, against the norm of the international community, this matters to us. And it matters to who we are. And it matters to leadership and to our credibility in the world.
As for who will join the U.S. in any military action, Kerry mentioned France as America's oldest ally and cited the Arab League's and Turkey's condemnation of the Assad government. He also praised the UN but made it clear that the U.S. will not be constrained by the world body and specifically not by the Russians.
The UN can't tell us anything that we haven't shared with you this afternoon or that we don't already know. And because of the guaranteed Russian obstructionism of any action through the UN Security Council, the UN cannot galvanize the world to act as it should.
With the U.S. credibility on the line, Kerry said if the U.S. doesn't act, it would embolden Iran, North Korea and Hezbollah. In giving his evidence, Kerry also confronted the ghost of Iraq. Mindful of that experience, he said, we will not repeat that. But it's been possible to ignore the parallels. But the U.S. insists this operation is different, that the intelligence is better this time around, and that the planned action isn't an invasion, but a limited strike punishing Syria for its alleged use of chemical weapons, and as a warning not to use them again, Mike.
Well, you know, he kept saying, we know, we know, we know. What is Damascus saying they know about this role?
I think you can sum it up and say, you lie, you lie, you lie. We actually have a statement from the Foreign Ministry, which was read out on state TV, where they said what the U.S. administration describes as irrefutable evidence is nothing but tired legends that the terrorists, i.e. the opposition, have been circulating for more than a week with their share of lies and entirely fabricated stories. And remember, Damascus has said that they vowed to respond to any U.S. attack. We also have a lot of reports, by the way, that ordinary citizens in Damascus are a little scared. The numbers of people going across the border, the nearest one, Jordan, has spiked dramatically in recent days.
All right, Nathan King, thanks so much.
Thank you.